Sunrisers Hyderabad have managed to do it again. They've defended 132 and it's been a very, very bizarre week. Scores less than 150 have been defended and yesterday 205 was chased down. Zach and Simon, you all must be really happy to see bowlers do so well in this T20 format.
They just continue to do it, Zach. That's the Kings XI's game to win, isn't it? And yet the bowlers, again, have just stood up. These guys are unbelievable.
It's just one of those bizarre games, I think. You know, so in the first innings, you have Ankit Rajput, who is a fast bowler, creating impact on the game. And the second innings,
5 wickets for him.
5 wickets were taken by spinners. So I think, and the way Kings XI started, 6 overs, 44 runs. Up to about 10 overs, they were cruising. It was just about Kings XI batting those 20 overs, and they would have been home. It was last over also, in spite of losing so many wickets and all that, last over they needed 15 runs.
And so, we just talking about the last over jinx.
Experienced players losing the plot. I mean, Aaron Finch and just some crazy behaviour from the batting side, quality bowling, but they just find a way. The Sunrisers find a way time and time again. I mean, I just scrolling through all of their results back through. 125. Against Rajasthan, they got.
That's right.
Mumbai got 147. 138 Kolkata. So the bowlers are doing the job. The two next games they chased a few, didn't they? Obviously with 180 odd.
Those are the only 2 games that they gave away more than
118 with Mumbai the other day, and now today 132. They're defending these totals. It's just. Or chasing it.
I mean, this is one of those switch your TV off kind of games, right? Like you see Kings XI playing well, you're a Sunrisers fan, you switch your TV off, switch it on again, there's another story, then you switch it off on the other side. Very strange.
I think this game in the second innings has come alive post 12th over. I think in 5 overs, they lost 5 wickets from 23, 24 runs, and that was the game. We spoke about Kings XI getting off to a good start and Sunrisers will not have any chance to come back in the game. Everything has happened exactly the opposite to what usually a game of cricket goes. Like you watch games, you watch so many games and you kind of know that, okay, this is how the game unfolds. But credit to Sunrisers, I think, you know, it's not easy to just kind of keep believing that they can win the game, and they just kind of have this belief in their bowling lineup. I think there are these 2 teams, CSK and Sunrisers Hyderabad. CSK believes in chasing down any kind of total, which we saw yesterday, and their stats and numbers also suggesting that. And Sunrisers is exactly on the opposite side. You know, they just used to defending these small totals. They're used to restricting the teams below par scores, and they've been so consistent. And both the teams having a very different style of playing and achieving the results. But it's just showing that, like, you know, there are many ways of cracking the formula of winning.
And 2 very calm captains.
I
think that's probably one of the keys. I mean, in a run chase, a calm captain, and we've seen that from MSD time and time again. And Kane Williamson tonight, you see him just talking to Manish Pandey,
getting the job done.
Getting it done. A very calm character. So, you know, that's got to help.
Especially about those DRS decisions. I think the way he was handling the situation.
Saha was like too high, because Rashid wanted to go straight away. You know, just in case they needed that one.
But just keeping calm, he's keeping things under control, and communication, I think, has been fantastic.
Do you think he's going to continue being calm though? Because now he has 2 problems. One is Billy Stanley, the other is Bhuvneshwar Kumar. When they're fit, where does he fit them in? Because this bowling attack looks brilliant.
Well, it's one of those situations where when your best player is injured, he's out and he's sitting out. He comes back. He comes straight back in. Now he comes back in for Basil Tampi. He comes back in for Sandeep Sharma. One of those 2. It doesn't really matter who, because both of them have done a great job for you. But the bottom line is, Bhuvi, when fit, plays. Billy Stanley's gone home. He's no longer, so that's fine for them. But he just comes straight back in, and whoever misses out is unfortunate. But that's what happens with good teams. With strong teams, good players miss out. A little word for Rashid Khan too. I mean, he went for 106, 107, 2 games. You know, back to back, he went for 50s. And he's worked it out again. He's gone back. I talked to him the other night after the game about what he'd done, and he said he was going back to just thinking about bowling a little bit quicker. He was starting to bowl a little slower, and he was trying to get turn, and he was going back to his stock, which is his wrong in. He doesn't very often turn that leg spinner very much at all, and he just felt he was slowing it up too much. and he just needed to get the confidence back of Kane Williamson and Tom Moody. He talked to Murali a lot, and Murali just said, well, you're trying to loop it up a little bit and turn it a bit too much, and they're starting to sweep you. And they did for 2 games in a row, both got swept a lot. But he's quicker against Mumbai, quicker again tonight, and probably another man of the match. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. We'll find out
shortly. Should be a thing, but I'm sure it's going to make you happy in any which case because it's a bowler. Let's just take a look at that Sunrisers Hyderabad bowlers contribution map that we have. They've all played really well. Just take a look at that, Zach.
Just unbelievable. I think, the Sandeep Sharma as well chipped in with 2 wickets at the right time. Thampi, important wicket of Chris Gale. I think Rashid Khan was just at the top of the bowlers. He set the tone. Getting that wicket of KL Rahul was a huge wicket, and the way he got out, I think, when you see it live, you kind of wonder how did the ball get through that defense. It didn't look just clipping the off stump. I think all in all, as I said earlier, the first innings belonged to a fast bowler, taking 5 wickets. We didn't expect the wicket is going to play in this fashion because in the first inning it certainly didn't look like it has enough to offer for spinners, but the story was something else. I think it's just the pressure being created by the spinners and particularly Rashid Khan.
There's a list. We've got to come up with a list. I think we'll do that maybe tomorrow. The best 5 performances in losing IPL games, because that's got to be one of them, surely. 5 for 14, and you lose. We want a list of the top 5. Let us know.
Producers,
hashtag Cricbuzz. Come on, you can get into it. The best 5 performances in losing IPL games. I know there's been 100. Been 100 in a final, I think, when a team lost.
I think it was Wriddhiman Saha.
Wriddhiman Saha got 100 in a final, and they lost. So there'll be 5 great performances in losing causes.
And this will
IPL.
definitely feature
and this
there.
will be in there, I'm thinking.
We spoke about the story being different, but I think with Kings 11 Punjab, the narrative seems to be common. They play great in the power play overs. And suddenly, in the middle overs, they're an absolute mess. Let's just take a look at those numbers. Just look at that. In the power play, 7 wickets. In the middle overs, 19.
The least in the power play. The least of any side in the power play so far in this part of the tournament, and the most of any side. They've gone past Rajasthan Royals as the most wickets lost in the middle overs.
You spoke about Rajasthan Royals.
So for those that are wondering, 1 to 6 power play overs, obviously, and then from 7 to 14 or 15, are the middle overs that we talk about. So they've lost 19 wickets in those middle overs, and that just tells you that middle order that they're struggling with. Aaron Finch has been poor. So the guys in the middle order, once Rahul and Gale are gone, that's where they're battling. So that's where they've got to find their way back.
I think the key is Aaron Finch. I think he's a match winner player, but he's still not firing. Today was the opportunity. It was right kind of opportunity for him not to rush his innings. He had enough time. It was just a matter of playing those 20 overs, and I think it was a poor shot. After hitting that 6, he went for another biggie, and looking at the kind of wicket as well, and the situation particularly when you lost KL Rahul, when you lost Gale as well in quick succession, then I think that's the time a player of his caliber and experience knows the situation demands just a little bit of application. But I think application of Kings 11 batsmen was nowhere to be seen today.
It's all very well to say, we can express our freedom and you can play with freedom, but the game situation dictates how you should play on some occasions. You can't just go out there and hit a 6 and then slog the next ball straight up in the air. Match awareness has to come into play from an experienced senior player getting paid big money in this situation.
There's so much word about experience. One man straight away comes in my mind, Yuvraj Singh. Do you think someone like him would have made a massive difference in a game like this today?
Well, I think it's on the hindsight you can talk about things, but I think you had the total which was easily gettable. That's the bottom line. I think today's game, Kings 11 Punjab is going to look back at the game and going to say to themselves that we didn't play well in 2 departments of the game. They fielded badly, they batted badly. The only department which they did exceptionally well was bowling, and that too it was Ankit Rajput, who set the tone. So I think when you do badly in 2 departments out of the 3, then you don't deserve to win. As simple as that.
Simon, when these teams now look at their performance and they still have a few games left, what do you think they're really going to go and talk about in the dressing room here on?
Well, Sunrisers are just going to continue to say we've got to keep believing because they appear to have that incredible belief, and the players, I mean, they seem to really enjoy it. We've talked about the environment that they must have created in that dressing room, in that clubhouse that they call it in Hyderabad. So they have belief, no matter what they've scored, that they can go out there and defend it if they've got the ball in their hands. They've got a group of quick bowlers, fast bowlers that are doing the job, so they're fine. They'll just be carry on as we are, but we need runs. We need runs. Where are we going to get those runs from? What are they going to do? I've talked about the change. I'll leave it at that with Alex Hales coming in for Nabby. That's exactly what should happen. He bowled 2 overs for 24 tonight in a game where a side got bowled out for 100.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't contribute with the bat because he bats down at 7. So really, to me, that's a non-contribution. So make that one change. If Boovy's fit, he comes back in for one of the others. For the Kings 11, it's just a small slip-up, really. I mean, they've played pretty well throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
So it's just a small slip-up for them. They can put it behind them and say, listen, we had a bad night with the hands, a bad night with the bat. Let's get that right. But that middle order, those 19 wickets and those middle overs is a massive concern. Is it time to give David Miller an extended run? They've given Finch for 3 games now in a row and 3 failures. I think it might even be 4 games in a row. 4 games for Finch. So 4 failures. It might now be time to say, listen, Aaron Finch, take a rest. Can't afford to keep that happening. We're going to give David Miller 3 games. If he starts to fire before the finals, then we've got our man.
They have the right team. In fact, the producers are already at their job, and they tell me the person who's played well but for a losing cause. The top 3. Yeah. Guess whose name features there? Quickly take a guess.
Virat Kohli.
Why you just throw names like these? You said Harbhajan Singh for some random question then. Zach, your turn.
I'm clueless.
Yuvraj Singh.
Oh.
And Adam Zampa. All-round performances.
Adam Zampa, 6 wickets.
6 for 19.
6 for 19 for Rising Pune. In Vizag.
Yeah.
I did that game. In Vizag. It was a losing cause.
It was. Wow. Against Sunrisers Hyderabad, but probably, But this is great. Our memory is working. Great, gentlemen. We're awake thanks to that game. We'd also asked you a question a little earlier, and this was the joy factor question. Let's just bring that question on our screen, and we'll tell you what the answer is. On which specific Indian cricket list would Kohli and Dhoni be at number 1 and 2, respectively, and Dhawan and Tendulkar at 4 and 5? And which cricketer not known for his international achievements is surprisingly at number 3? We asked you to send in your answers with hashtag Cricbuzz Live. A lot of answers did come in. You said Harbhajan Singh.
Yeah, I just trying to throw them off the scent.
Just threw an answer. You didn't take a guess. I didn't understand the question itself, but somebody did get the answer right. Let's just take a look at our winner. Let's flash that on our screen. This person is our winner, Vandit PSR, and the answer is
Raidu.
You knew it?
You told me.
Okay.
So what is his average? Number 3 in the top ODI batting averages.
I don't want that.
You don't want the red table? No. Okay, the red table is up for grabs. What was his average?
What is his average?
We'll get it. Producers, come on, get on the job right now. Tell us what was his average. And in the meantime, while you find that, why don't you just put the points table out there so we can talk about that as well. It's not just us, but I think fans from around the country want to know what is happening on that points table.
3 teams on 10
How
now.
open is it?
Yeah.
There is the points table. Gentlemen, take over.
3 teams on 10, so you've got that sort of breakaway group, I suppose, aren't you? They're about 2 or 3 miles ahead in the marathon with about 20 to go, and then you've got the rest just sort of fighting out for one spot now at the moment. And unless someone makes a real run, a 2, 3, 4 wins in a row, those 3 sides are looking fairly solid at the moment.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's game is going to be crucial. With KKR playing DD, I think in 7 games. So Sunrisers have played 1 game extra. So that's something which will count. Apart from that, I think this table is wide open. Pretty much we've seen in IPL in the past that teams can get onto a losing run and the winning run. I hope it's not Kings 11's start of a losing run, because these kind of losses. Yeah,
they played all the games in Mohali.
Yeah,
so they were good there for their 3 games. Now they're basically away from home, although they've got a home away from home, if that makes sense. For the rest of the trip. Indoor. They've got 2 in indoor or 3 in indoor, haven't they? And then
4 games, and it's a huge gap. I don't know if what happened today you'd call it momentum, but you think that long gap is going to help them?
Well, sometimes you need a break in the middle of the tournament, I think, just to refresh, just to get those minds freshened up. I know that some of the guys, who was I talking to the other night, they were off to Dubai. There was some players off to Dubai for 3 days because there was one of the teams had a week-long gap.
Oh, nice.
And so they were going to Dubai, a couple were going to Thailand or something like that for 3 days.
Incentive trips?
Yeah, just to get away, just to freshen up. It's a long tournament, and if you've got a 6 or 7 day gap between games, it's a nice idea to get out of the team environment, even if you are doing well, just to freshen up. And for the injured players, it's a nice time to just maybe get those injuries and those niggles looked at, taken care of, come back fresh and firing for that second half of the tournament.
All right, tomorrow it's going to be Delhi Daredevils playing the Kolkata Knight Riders. Let's take a look at Delhi Daredevils. Their lineup, there's one big change obviously. Gautam Gambhir is not going to be the captain. This was the last game's lineup. Do you think any changes are going to happen here? What is going to happen with this team?
Not really. I think maybe Gautam will make way for someone else in terms of batting lineup. They might start with Prithvi Shaw.
So you're saying he might not play tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that was one of the main reasons. I think he's decided to step down from captaincy, because if he was playing, then he would have continued to be captain for sure. I think, so that's something. But all in all, one thing for sure, DD certainly will be going with a completely refreshed mindset and a new thought process, new kind of plans and new kind of energy. So they will want to make some changes just to kind of reshuffle the whole thing and
their team. Who's coming in? Who's coming in? Who's going to replace Gautam?
Discussing all
who's coming in
on the Cricbuzz app.
I think
everything on the Cricbuzz app. Let's go back there. Just show them.
Gurkirat Mans. Okay, all right.
I actually want to ask you this question, Simon. Such a big change, and both of you have played cricket at different levels. When you have such a big change midway through a tournament, how does a team really cope with this?
One of two ways, I think, isn't it? It's one of two ways. It gets better. It's like you look at the EPL, the English Premier League. How often when a team sacks a coach, the next week they win under a different coach, because all of a sudden it's just more relaxed maybe in that dressing room and everything fires. Whether they keep that winning run going is it's a big thing. You might see Delhi come out tomorrow and have a win and fire, but then they've got to keep it going. It's tough because I don't know with their side. They need Chris Morris fit. I think for mine, and he would come in and replace Dan Christian. And if Gautam doesn't play, then they obviously need some power at the top as well. So it just, look, it goes one of two ways. I don't see them after making 5 changes the other day and failing. I'm not sure. I did like the look of Avish Khan. I think we were both impressed with him. Liam Plunkett made a big difference, but it's their batting. It's their batting that is the worry. So if Chris Morris can come in and replace Daniel Christian perhaps, and whatever they decide to do at the top of the order, maybe if Gautam doesn't play, get Glenn Maxwell up, get Shreyas Iyer into 3, Rishabh Pant to 4, and find a local Indian middle order player. And maybe that power comes from Gurkirat Mansingh, someone like that.
Jason Roy, if he's fit, will come back in the side. They might drop Glenn Maxwell because he's not had a great run. So I think they might go in a different direction from here on in. But all in all, they don't have that much of cushion. They have 8 games left now. They got to win 7 to give themselves a sure shot chance, because their net run rate is also not that great. So they have to win 8 matches, and that really puts a lot of pressure, because you can just afford to lose 1 game out of your 8 matches.
So there is a lot of pressure. Let's take a look at the KKR playing 11. This was the last lineup. Let's see if our experts think there are going to be some changes here.
Well, they don't have a lot of options, KKR, outside of their fully fit 11. There's 1 or 2 players they can bring in and out, but this is their best 11. I think that's where they've settled on, their best 11. Tom Curran's done a good job for them. Shubman Gill has come into the side. Shivam Mavi has come in as well. Nagakoti injured, so they've had a couple of injury worries. Andre Russell in the last game was injured, so whether he's fit is a massive thing for the Kolkata Knight Riders. If he's not fit, their season goes downhill a little bit, I think.
I think so.
If he is fit, then they've got a very strong looking 11 there.
6 days of a break for them as well. I don't know if some of them went to Thailand or Dubai, but do you think they'd be feeling relaxed? And how do they get into a game after a break like this?
They'll be up for it, I think. These kind of breaks do help, and certainly for someone like Russell, I think, if a niggle is manageable, those 5 days, 6 days, he would have been just with the physio, spending enough time, making sure doing enough rehab exercises, prehab exercises, and then KKR will be making sure that come what may, Russell is taking the field. I think if he's not available to bowl, they would still want him to take the field and just bat. So he might just play as a batsman, because he's an important cog of that lineup. I think KKR, for them to have success in the tournament which they've had, I think Russell had played an important role. So they would want Russell fit for rest of the tournament.
Right, and before we say good night, Simon, I have some good news for you. This is going to make your good night a great night.
Who is it? Who is it?
Yes, so the man of the match is of the game that just happened.
Ankit.
Right.
Ankit Rajput.
Ankit Rajput.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Losing side. There you go.
Side.
Straight away in that list there. Producers, bring in the 5 performances tomorrow.
Wow.
And
I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised at that. That's another one we debate on, isn't it? The whole, should the man of the match come from the winning team? Because he makes a contribution to his team winning. It's not the best performance of the match. It's the man of the match. And the man of the match generally helps his team win.
Yeah.
I think the man of the match on this show has to be the Red Table. So, we're going to say good night to you. Any closing thoughts?
Red Table is going to be man of the series of IPL.
He'll be man of the summer.
Man of the summer, man of the year.
Yeah, exactly. All good.
We'll discuss this. We'll give this Red Table an award. But we have to say good night to you for now. Tomorrow, join us again at 7:30 right here on Cricbuzz Live. Take care. Good night. Bye.